traditional style is be more visual. And my first film, which was shown last year in England in 2016, it's more of a lot of off-scene voices. And this time I just trying to change it with less of dialogue and voices, more of the vision, and more of and I'm very compared with you, I'm very focused on human, because I personally come from a very complex cultures, and my mom's from northern part of China, and my dad from southern, and they already have so much things and it's not in common. And then I live in China, grew up in the urban city for 15 years, and then moved to New Zealand for another 15 years. So to me, it's very difficult to find. Identity crisis is always tough for us, definitely. It's hard to fit into any cultures, basically. So I'm more interested into digging more of the humanity side. And because myself, coming from a very difficult background with families and other things, so I think my go in film, the thing I really want to make film is also to express those emotions that people don't normally tell, but they're always there. Especially film, it's a great way to extract those one particular feel and to be big and huge and connect with those who actually connect with it. But I'm sure it doesn't really connect with everybody because it's not. It doesn't face to the big markets. It just faces to the people who connect with it, basically. And that's the same with my first film. So with this one, it's very interesting. I had the inspiration from doing yoga pose, and I had the child pose, and I looked back and I said, the triangle you form with the legs and the outside world are very interesting in reality, but it's from your own eyes. It seems through your own body, and that inspiration. And I was thinking what me the most, and I started realizing I've got I got a gift because a lot of people going through my life, they don't open up normally with their different to others, but they all open up to me, and I felt like it's incredible. It's a gift, and I don't need to say much, just be there and listening. And there's always a story I want to tell, and I never got a chance. Is the first manager who employed me for my traditional 9 to 5 work, and he didn't have much friend, and he has how can I say, he's very, very ambitious, and he has his own way. He's very good, but he has no friends. So I became his only friend because in the whole department there's just two of us, and it lasted for 2 years. He left the company, and still we kept contact for quite a while. And I found him, it's very interesting with a very interesting personality. And it's good that he doesn't have friends, but he just keep climbing up very quickly with his career. And of course, as a friend, I'm fed up at one point saying, like, you just don't play the game with me. For a friend, you have to open up sometimes. Not like, you want me, I'm there. You don't want me, you kick me away. I said it doesn't work that way. And he said, can I tell you something that I don't know, I have never told anyone, and I don't think I ever want to remember that. But maybe that's why this is what caused my personality to be like this today. And I said, sure, I'm all ears. And he told me that his parents got separated when he was 2, and his mother got sent to a mental hospital. And he stayed with his dad, who got remarried with a lady with 3 kids. But the woman really don't want him to be together with her kids. So she separated everything between the kids. However, the family is Christian, and they brought the kids to church every single weekend. And he said from age of 4 to age of 9, he was literally abused by all the men in the church. And they all have kids. They all represent like a family, happy family. And he's a him, and he got abused by all the men, and was passed by words. So one man done did with him once, and everybody knows, so everybody did the same thing. And they're still, going to church, and he said, I told my dad, and my dad was ashamed of him. His dad saying, and asked him not to mention that again. And he said for years he didn't remember the story until I really start asking him why you're like this, and are you truthfulness to yourself, and why you try to be friend like this? I'm your only friend, blah blah blah. Kind of make him start thinking why he became like this. And so as all the others, even this actress, I got, she's an acting coach, and she was actually coaching me, and I was approaching to her because somehow her look just gave me the feeling that I want her so bad. And she, after we finished the whole thing, the Me Too phenomenon starts, and she wrote the story of herself on the internet, which shocked me. I didn't really know that she's been through the same thing. She was raped when she was 3 years old by a 10-year-old boy, and the 10-year-old boy got away, as it says it's an innocent mistake. And for her, she's like, I doesn't matter. I don't remember anything else, but I remember how many times they asked him to repeat what happened to me, what he did to me, and still he went away. He just got away from that. So, and apart from that, it's also the story of myself. Honestly, I feel like this kind of story is not something you would bring up on a dining table, on a lunch catch up, or any kind of things. It's just deeply down there somewhere. But it definitely affects you one way or another, even though you feel it's in the past tense. It didn't, maybe you can pretend it didn't happen, but it really affected. And I really hate those people who did to children because it affected them without them noticing it. And so I've got a lot of review for this film for my friends and other filmmakers, and some of the reviews are very interesting. And I was just like, I don't know what I'm trying to make a point from any of the picture here, but I just want us to feel with the flow, with the images, I guess. Yeah. Sorry, I'm still floating with my. I don't have a logic in my brain.
It makes sense.
Hopefully, I do. Okay, that's good.
But it totally makes sense.
It does. That's good.
And the most interesting is because even you did not, you were not together with the same Me Too movement because you did this kind of before in the parallel.
Mm.
But I think that is a conspiracy. Everybody like thinking together about the same subject that has been bothering so many women. And this taboo was, well, was not taboo because everybody knew, but everybody knows, but you don't do any action.
No, that's right.
You know,
I
like
was so surprised when the Me Too came up later. Oh my God, I made it on the dot.
yeah. No, but the thing is, like, we know the problem. Everybody knows the problem. Today I was reading an interview that besides the women, we have the men too. The men that maybe they are not the abuser, but they know that there are other men, they are abusers, and they don't do anything. So it's like that is like an accomplish, they are accomplices. How can I say? They are together. They know, but they don't do anything. So
Everybody knows, right?
remiss.
Yeah.
They are remiss. You know, thank you. Accomplice, yes. But there's
I'm not your story. I like your art because you crafted so well emotion, so strong emotion. And this short film, you really isolate the poetry of the painful emotion, the effect towards the end. And it's really, really crafted with poetry in a very, very fantastic way in film language. Thank you.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
Please, can I have the link to show and the university as well?
Definitely, yeah.
I would like that.
That sure thing.
Yeah, how did you come up with the concept, the visuals of having this, the movement around? Because I think that works, like you just said, it works so well with getting the perspective of the person who's going through this, because it's not so much about words, it's more about feeling.
Yeah.
So it really felt like you're in the person's perspective and you're able to, at least for the few minutes, to feel what they might be feeling. That can be stated what's actually going on, and that.
Yeah, it's very interesting. It's, to me, everything comes subconsciously. And just like when you dream, you feel like you're following someone, you are the eye of the camera yourself sometimes. And you can see the pictures so well. And when I had these pictures, I know exactly how the camera gonna move because this is how exactly I see myself as a camera, to see through the whole thing. And but I have a great team this time. Last time I didn't work with anybody else, but I was the cameraman. I was everybody. I was acting with myself a great team to help me out. So when I have all these things in mind, I draw them out and I communicate with DP and also his director himself. He helped me with how to make some things to make this to enhance the feeling that I wanna put in. But originally, I've already had the thought about the 100 degree sort of movement with the camera, and where we're gonna stop and from which angle, and I don't know why. And that's why I wanna learn more of the technical part, because it's gonna help me with more way of seeing things. But now it's still it's purely just come from here and I'm happy that.
So that actually that kind of constant camera movement and the sort of atmosphere created, it actually reminded me of the Gaspar Noé, and I was wondering if it was like it was an influence or just convergence. No, okay.
No.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, maybe I did too many wedding videos before. And I always got the while I was still working, and I had this set job to help my friend with their wedding video companies, and I'm just a huge fan of that 360 surround with white lens, and get them stand in the middle. Every time we turn to them, they get a cool smile because it looks so good.
Yeah.
Or when they kiss, I always like to ask the DP to go 360 and get a very nice feeling when kissing by themselves in the church. It just feels so good. And I think maybe that influenced me. I think because the feeling is a real, not real kind of.
Right. Have you seen Inches of Weight?
Oh my God, yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's kind of no, it's like there's that feeling, sort of constant movement. It's a very, very different effect. But I just wondered if there was an influence there. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, the coloring, they're so good.
Yeah,
I love the color. And
particularly
that's
the club
yeah.
scene was when we think of it. Was just like, Okay,
And to back you up, Donna, I learned so much with the sound those time. I live until the last minute.
Yeah.
But I was surprised that the editor gave me so many surprises. For example, the ghostly talks.
Yeah.
A lot of things you pick up more than I do. And that's why you really need sound person who actually has the ears to help you with to enhance the feelings more, because the sound plays a huge part on that. And the color grading with the sky, I was like, when you see the plan picture, the images, sometimes even as a director, I find hard to connect with it. It's so planned. You have to add something else, and throughout the whole creative process, sometimes I've got plan in the beginning, but it always changing because it's an emotion journey. So I want to make sure this emotion thing works for myself first. So colors, all the things I did before has to change throughout the whole process. And I love to work with those who knows my vision and surprise them with what they know. And the color, I can pick the color, but at least he can show me like how to do it. The sound, I have a fair feelings of my own, but I need the professional advice on how to make it more sound more perfect. So I think the sound plays a big part, and it's a very interesting fact that I showed this movie to a lot of my Chinese friends as well, and the people who actually live in overseas, who's Chinese but Western Chinese, I guess.
No, I'm just saying. I have a question.
Oh, all right. And I find most of the Chinese friends that I showed who are strongest in Chinese culture didn't understand the film at all. And that is a very interesting fact.
Interesting. Yeah.
Because that's why I'm saying that the whole culture is very, very different. This thing are not spoken in the Western world. What do you think about China? Did anybody ever speaking about this at all?
No way. No way.
So uncle, okay, so what does uncle mean? Or they don't get any sense from whatsoever.
Right.
And it's very interesting from that perspective. But when I was checking on when I was doing my research on the news and everything, it's not less than any other places. There's a lot of abuse, and also to a lot of parents, a lot of stories that I know, it seems to be normal with those abuse. It's normal, and it's my children. You have no say to what I do to my children. There's no something like bonded or helping these families. There's no social workers like New Zealand or other places to help with the domestic violence or anything like that. It's just not happening, and hence for them it's hard to understand. So it actually shocked me, and I feel like maybe I should do something towards that culture in the future to help them, to make them feel like they're not the only one. They need to seek for help or do something about it. Sorry, Jack.
No, that was exactly what my question was going to be. So that's answered. Like, I wanted to know because obviously you've just back from a trip to Shanghai, Beijing. Sorry. So obviously, yeah, I was curious to know if there's any kind of if there was any kind of similar movement to that which has happened in Hollywood or in the Western world, and if not, then obviously, how do you think there's any way that they could take shape? Really?
Sadly, no. It's going worse than that. I think I was brought back to Beijing by a producer from New Zealand, but she's Chinese, so she's actually very Chinese. She got a company who she worked with in Beijing, and she got so many connections. So she said, "I want you to be able to meet and go," and huge companies who produce huge movies in China. So I was like, "Wow, bright future." But it concerns me ever since the first meeting. Every meeting, it actually broke my heart. Nobody knows what the policy is going to be. The censorship is getting crazier. If you ever know about the Chinese Cultural Revolution in the 70s, then you will know that it's starting again. And they're taking down temples, they're abusing Muslims, and they are getting people from Xinjiang province back from Beijing. They're just students. They're studying in Beijing. And they got a call saying they need to go back. And as soon as they get off the train, they got arrested and put into rooms. To do what? I don't know. They did nothing wrong. So that is how the whole situation in China. And whenever I've got my own idea, I want to share with the director or his wife, they think I've got too much opinion, or they think it doesn't work for them. And they have to be very careful, like how you even say your word, how you even put the title for your film, because one word can affect you a lot. And they've got this, and so that's why I love the script film coming out, because that's the thing, you don't touch with the policy so much. And then later on, you shouldn't have, and now, that was 2 years ago, and now it's this year, you shouldn't make anything that doesn't make sense anymore. You have to make things with only positive meanings in there, nothing negative. But we're the country full of the negative thing to be discovered, to share, to actually improve. How do we improve if we don't talk about negatives? That's the current situation, and I feel so sad, and it's affecting a lot to the film industry. I know there are several programs they are helping with new, fresh filmmakers, and I watch their short films, which is not public at all. I don't know, I found a way to watch 1 or 2, and this surprised me a lot with the creativities, but none of them got anywhere further. None.
The what they call pig pig. What the English cartoon, which there's some UK actors, and he's an elephant. He just made the voice of the elephant was censored last year or this year. The Peppa Pig, who has
Peppa Pig, yeah.
Peppa Pig. Peppa Pig. The pink elephant. The pink elephant.
China now.
Oh, it's a very
He's a dentist, an elephant, yeah? So the voice is English actor. They're censored because they say it's conspiracy against the government. He's been
Right. You never know what you have is going to affect the government. You never know.
Yeah,
I think you're doing them a favor.
It's so
No.
innocent.
Yeah, he's just a dentist. We never
Besides
treat
working all the
anybody.
time, he's
Oh, let me tell you this. The director, they're producing a series which they believe is going to fit into the 20th vision, and they're trying to put a bit of traditional, like Chinese herbs into the whole series. And I think, okay, we obey to the policies, and we respect the traditions, and we also face into the young kids. I mean, should be perfect. But the name is actually I helped them with choosing a name called Becoming God, because it is what it is. The her becoming God, and they fight with each other. So, and I love the name so much, and they say no, if you use God, we're dead. Just simple as that. Or evil, anything with religion related. Anything that is, and you know that how many films that being imported to China have to be re-edited with, we cut all the sensitivity out and just, so it's still happening, it's still there, and it's going, we believe it's start going backwards again. Sadly.
You stop elephants talking.
Are you familiar with the Wyatt painting, Christina's World?
No.
I thought it was probably unintentional, but just so you know, anybody who's got an understanding of art in that way, that opening scene when you see the girl, the painting Christina's World, you see her back and she's on a field that looks very similar, but the story behind the painting is that the girl is deaf. And what you're seeing is this incredible world and you never see her face, but she's locked inside herself. So if anybody else notices that, that's an added meaning. That is a little bit of serendipity, which is the happy accident, but it's a perfect analogy for this and for me too, that it's this girl who's completely isolated within herself. But you should look at the image. It's remarkably.
Well,
Could you repeat the name?
The painting is called Christina's World.
the world. Okay.
I'll show you one with it. I'll pull it up on a phone.
Yeah, wow.
Thank you, I don't see.
Okay. If we have time for one last question for the audience, and then we will have to move on again to the next filmmaker. Okay. Thank you very much, Nicole. Fascinating. So you've got a lot to live up to now. So are you presenting together or as? Okay. Yes. Okay. After this presentation, we'll, I think, take a short break and.
Let's do the break now.
Oh yes, a much better.
5 minutes. We can go to the
Sorry. Yes. Okay. If we want to have a short break now, then we'll meet here in. Shall we say 15 minutes? Is that enough time for everyone? That's good. Okay. Thank you.
Bleib bei Wasser. Steffen, wo denn? Hier. Ah, okay.
There's actually like not speaking up. There's something I've been thinking about a lot recently, not just they speak up about fucking anything. So like literally my job is to focus on people and the only people who come to me for problem with it. Yeah, it's the purpose about half male, half female. The people who actually come to me for help is really like 95%. Guys don't have
Make life things.
Guys don't like, turning on guys for shit. Like guys don't talk about anything. They don't talk about fucking anything.
Oh, I can do that, but like.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. surreal. You know, it's really, so they do all these, and actually a lot of people who are really talented end up taking themselves out of the arts or out of science or whatever because they just never feel like they know what they're doing. You know, and every time they get an award or, you know, whatever, they're like, oh, they've made some sort of mistake or maybe, you know, yeah, so it's a really